As you embark on your hockey analytics journey, you will surely spend a lot of time with statistics. There are basic statistical concepts like mean, median, and mode, and then there are hockey-specific statistics like goals, GAA, and Corsi. This lecture introduces you to raw and calculated hockey statistics. After this lecture, you will be ready to use them in building reports and dashboards.
In this lecture, we're going to focus more on the statistics, covering off on several topics. First, we'll discuss goals. That is, we'll discuss why goals are an important statistic in hockey, as they determine the outcome of a game and provide insights into a team or player's performance. Goals are a simple statistic, in that they're easy to count and understand. They represent the number of times a team or player scores in a game or season. However, we'll see that they can also be a complex statistic when you analyze how you score that goal, which is represented through other statistics like shot attempts, possession time, and player movements. We'll next discuss two types of statistics, raw and calculated. Raw statistics are basic measurements of a team or player's performance, such as the number of goals scored. They can be represented at the aggregate level, for example, total or count, or they can be represented at the discrete level, for example, individual goals scored. Calculated statistics are derived from raw statistics and provide a more nuanced view of performance, such as goals per game or shooting percentage. These types of stats are typically a product of aggregated statistics. We'll then discuss beginner hockey statistics. For beginners, key statistics for teams and players include goals, assists, shots on goal, and time on ice. These statistics provide a basic overview of a team or player's offensive and defensive performance. Lastly, we'll cover a sample of advanced statistics, which are more tailored to a specific part of a player or team's performance. For example, in hockey, advanced statistics may include Corsi, Fenwick, and PDO, which measure shot attempts, scoring chances, and save percentage, respectively. Advanced statistics can help teams and analysts gain a deeper understanding of a player or team's performance and identify areas for improvement. By the end of this lecture, you should have a good sense for what key statistics to focus on to build your team and player dashboards. Goals are one of the most important statistics in ice hockey, as they're the primary measure of offensive success. Scoring goals is the ultimate objective of the game, and teams that can consistently put the puck in the net are more likely to win games and ultimately compete for championships. More simply, the team with the most goals at the end of the season wins. Goals are also a measure of a player's individual offensive production, with players who score more goals generally being considered more valuable to their team. In addition to being a measure of offensive success, goals also have a psychological impact on the game. Scoring a goal can energize a team and demoralize the opposition, leading to shifts in momentum and ultimately affecting the outcome of the game. Goals can also have strategic implications, with teams often adjusting their tactics based on the score of the game. Overall, goals are a crucial statistic in ice hockey, with the ability to score goals being a key determinant of a team's success. However, while goals may be a simple measure, the reality of scoring a goal is much more complex, involving and influenced by many different variables. These variables lie at both the player and team level. For example, age, experience, and goal-scoring prowess for a player and team dynamics, special teams performance, and depth of bench for a team. While this is often overlooked, there are more subtle variables such as the state of the ice, bounce in the boards, size of the ice, loudness of the home crowds, and so on. These environmental variables are typically less statistically significant, but they can impact performance. To illustrate the complexity behind scoring a goal, let's consider the journey a puck might take from one end of the ice to the other. This scenario is a simple puck movement from the defensive zone. For example, the first movement of the puck is a defenseman headmanning the puck from the defensive goal line by the defensive zone circle to a forward who has just broken out of his or her defensive zone. This is puck movement 1. The reality is that unless you've got a perfectly clear path to the forward who's breaking out of the defensive zone, this type of pass could be high risk. You'd want to close the gap between you and the forward to which you're headmanning the puck. The opposing team could also step up and block the pass, giving them an opportunity to shoot on goal. As you'll see when you start building your own dashboards and analytics, more shots on goals increases the percentage of more goals being scored. The next play is a give and go, which is a very common play. It's a quick play where the forward passes the puck to a teammate, breaks up the ice past their opponent, only to have the puck given back to them as they're picking up speed. This is puck movement 2 and 3. After the forward has the puck with some momentum, they skate the puck deep into the offensive zone. Skating the puck in deep, with your center or winger dangling at the top of the slot, or dumping the puck so it rounds the boards so your winger can pick the puck up as it rounds the boards, are two common ways to get the puck into the offensive zone. This is puck movement 4. For this play, the forward skates the puck in, then shoots the puck off the boards to his or her teammate on the opposite side of the offensive zone. This is puck movement 5. Here, the puck is picked up and then finally passed back to the skater who brought the puck into the offensive zone, puck movement 6, who proceeds to one-time the puck into the net, puck movement 7. Now, assuming a goal results from this play, in terms of a statistic, you'll only see one goal. This one goal statistic represents the culmination of each of the subsequent steps and the variables surrounding those steps that led to the successful execution of the play. Thus, the goal statistic doesn't really tell you much about how the team scored the goal. So if a team wins a game by scoring more goals than the opponent, unless you have statistical details on all other aspects of play, you can only assume they're a better team and outplayed the opponent. When you evaluate beyond the simple statistic of goals, this is where the statistical models you build from a team's or player's performance are super interesting. For example, to understand the how a bit more, you might want to understand the passing game of a team, how many times they shoot on net, and convert those shots into a goal. When a team capitalizes on situations in the game, for example, power play versus even strength. If a team's physical prowess plays into their ability to either defend or score, and so on. So to understand the complexity around that goal, it's important to evaluate different statistics and metrics that represent what led up to the goal. We'll cover some basic statistics in this lecture, along with a small set of advanced statistics. But if you really want to immerse yourself and truly understand how to statistically model and profit off the game of hockey, whether it's fantasy sports, betting, or just understanding the game with more depth, exploring more of these advanced statistics will be important for you. Let's continue to talk a bit about the variables behind scoring a goal. As mentioned, scoring a goal in hockey is a feat that involves several variables that impact the outcome of that play, goal or not. While it is possible to score a goal in just a few steps, as we outlined in the last slide, it's very rare in the game of hockey to simply execute a play in 7 steps and score a goal. This is due to the complexity of the sport and the number of variables that can impact a goal-scoring opportunity. One variable that can impact the scoring of a goal is the number of skaters on the ice. With 10 skaters always moving and 2 goalies waiting for plays against them, there are many variables that can affect a player's ability to score. The random bounces from ice condition, boards, and other factors can also make it difficult to predict where the puck will end up. Other variables that can impact scoring a goal include the type of play, such as even strength versus shorthanded versus power play, and the different skills across the players. Unforced errors on the ice, such as being out of position or committing penalties, can also impact a player's ability to score. Each player on the ice has a different role in the game, with forwards, defense, and goalies all playing a critical role in creating scoring opportunities and preventing goals. The speed of the game and the combination of skills required to be good at hockey further add to the complexity of scoring a goal. In conclusion, scoring a goal in hockey is a difficult feat that involves several variables and factors that can impact the outcome of the play. While it is possible to score in just a few steps, it's very rare in the sport of hockey due to the complexity and unpredictability of the game. Hockey is a complex sport that involves many dimensions, from offensive and defensive play to teamwork, strategy, and individual skills. Here's some ways that these dimensions impact a hockey team. Scoring goals. Scoring goals is one of the primary objectives in hockey, and teams must have strong offensive skills to be successful. This includes having skilled forwards who can create scoring opportunities, strong defensemen who can move the puck up the ice, and a solid power play that can take advantage of opponents' penalties or weak defense. Teamwork. Hockey is a team sport, and teams that play well together are often the most successful. This includes having good communication, understanding each other's strengths and weaknesses, and working together to create scoring opportunities and prevent goals. Stopping goals. While scoring goals is important, preventing goals is equally crucial in hockey. Teams must have strong defensive skills, including good goaltending, solid defensive structure, and the ability to limit opponents' scoring chances. Offensive versus defensive play. Hockey games can vary in terms of their offensive and defensive nature. Some games may be high-scoring affairs, while others may be low-scoring and defensive battles. Teams must be able to adjust their play style depending on the situation and opponent. Biases. Teams can also have biases that impact their performance, such as taking too many penalties, relying too heavily on certain players, or struggling to close out games despite high assist numbers. Age and experience. Age and experience can also be factors in a team's success. Younger teams may have more energy and enthusiasm, while more experienced teams may have better leadership and strategic skills. Overall, hockey is a complex sport that requires a wide range of skills, strategies, and teamwork to be successful. Teams must be able to excel in all dimensions of the game, from scoring and defending to communication, strategy, and leadership. As you'll begin to see, you can use different statistics to build a holistic picture of how a player or team performs, or could perform, and then evaluate those teams against one another statistically. If we look at the player for a moment, you can begin to see how statistics try and represent a 360-degree view of the player. For example, at a minimum, a well-rounded hockey player can skate, shoot, and pass, has a good head for the game, and is physical. Players will rank differently across these dimensions. Really good players and superstars will score high in many of these categories. Within each of these categories, you can further break them down into measurements. For example, for shooting and scoring, the key statistics are goals, assists, shots, points, and so on. For skating, it's time on ice, shifts, and so on. Each one of these metrics can be measured through aggregations. For example, total goals for the season, or discrete measures. For example, goals per shift, period, or game. Here, you can see a bit more detail on each of the statistics for the player, which are expressed through an aggregation. That is, a total or count of the statistic. For example, total shots is the count of shots on goal for a player. Total time on ice is the number of minutes, also expressed in seconds, that a player is on the ice. Number of fights is the total count of fights that a player engages in. Check the resources for a more comprehensive player and team statistics cheat sheet. In the sport of hockey, statistics play a crucial role in evaluating a player's or team's performance. Raw statistics are basic measurements recorded during a game, such as goals, assists, shots, and hits. These statistics provide a measure of team and player performance and are easy to understand and visualize. Raw statistics can be used to create quick comparisons across players and teams. Calculated statistics, on the other hand, provide a more detailed and nuanced view of a player's or team's performance. These statistics consider a broader range of factors beyond basic measures, such as shot attempts, possession time, and zone performance. Calculated statistics can be more focused, such as measuring a player's performance in a specific area of the ice, or broader, such as using Corsi to measure a team's shot attempts. In hockey, calculated statistics have become increasingly important in evaluating a player's or team's performance, as they provide a more accurate and comprehensive view of the game. For example, Corsi is a calculated statistic that measures shot attempts and is used to evaluate a team's overall puck possession and offensive pressure. Fenwick is another calculated statistic that measures unblocked shot attempts, providing a more accurate measure of a team's offensive performance. Overall, raw and calculated statistics both play important roles in evaluating a player's or team's performance in hockey. While raw statistics provide a basic overview of a player's or team's performance, calculated statistics provide a more detailed and nuanced view that considers a broader range of factors. For team statistics, wins and losses provide a basic measure of a team's performance over the course of a season. Points are also an important statistic, as they determine a team's position in the standings and playoff eligibility. Shot statistics are important for evaluating a team's offensive performance, and face-off statistics are important for evaluating a team's ability to win possession of the puck. Also, save or goals against statistics provide a sense for a team's goaltending ability, which help round out the defensive side of team play. For player statistics, goals, assists, and points are the most basic statistics to collect and analyze. These statistics provide a measure of a player's offensive production and can be used to compare players across different teams. Shot statistics are also important for evaluating a player's offensive performance, as they measure a player's ability to create scoring opportunities. Power play statistics provide a measure of a player's ability to perform on the power play, which is a crucial aspect of hockey. Plus-minus is another important statistic that measures a player's defensive performance, as it provides a measure of a player's impact on the game in terms of goals scored for and against their team. Overall, these team and player statistics provide a basic overview of a team's and player's performance in fantasy hockey. By collecting and analyzing these statistics, fantasy hockey players can gain insights into a team's and players' strengths and weaknesses, and make informed decisions about roster changes and strategy. In this course, we use mysportsfeeds.com as our hockey data provider. Using this provider, we can access raw statistics that we can then use to build a performance model for a team or a player. We can then build a comparative view using different raw statistics. For example, in a previous lecture, we showed you how to manually access a spreadsheet of raw team statistics using mysportsfeeds.com. Here, you can see different statistics for each team, such as wins, losses, goals, and so on. The mysportsfeeds.com data also includes a small set of calculated statistics, such as faceoff percentage. However, many of the stats are raw and aggregated from the beginning of the season to that point in time. The notion of aggregation will eventually be important to you, depending on what you're trying to do. For example, often when beginning one's analytics journey, summary raw statistics are fine. That is, total wins, total losses, PIM, and so on. However, as you learn more, you'll want to increasingly see disaggregated raw statistics. For example, this might be raw statistics at the game level, where you can begin to build and analyze more advanced statistical or predictive models with this disaggregated data. But don't worry, you can still do a ton with summary statistics and understand how well or poorly a team or player is performing, such that you can make good decisions. Getting back to the CSV file, note in the downloaded CSV file the team metadata to the left and all the raw with some calculated statistics towards the right. We've included a sample team stats file with this course, so feel free to explore the raw statistics that are in the file. Shot percentage is an important statistic that measures a player's shooting efficiency and can be used to evaluate a player's offensive impact. Save percentage is another important statistic that measures a goaltender's ability to stop shots and can be used to evaluate a goaltender's overall performance. Corsi score is a calculated statistic that measures shot attempts, including shots on goal, missed shots, and blocked shots. Corsi is used to evaluate a team's overall puck possession and offensive pressure, and can be used to identify players who are strong possession drivers. Fenwick for percentage is another calculated statistic that measures unblocked shot attempts, providing a more accurate measure of a team's offensive performance. Other advanced statistics for fantasy hockey include power play time on ice, which measures a player's time on the ice during power play opportunities, and even strength points per 60 minutes, which measures a player's point production during even strength play. Overall, these advanced statistics provide a deeper and more nuanced view of a player's or team's performance in fantasy hockey. By analyzing these statistics, fantasy hockey players can gain insights into a player's or team's strengths and weaknesses, and make informed decisions about trades, acquisitions, and lineup changes. Shot percentage, also known as shooting percentage, is an advanced hockey statistic that measures a player's ability to score goals relative to the number of shots they take. To calculate shot percentage, the following steps are typically followed. Identify the number of shots that the player has taken during the season. Identify the number of goals that the player has scored during the season. Calculate the player's shot percentage. Shot percentage is calculated as player's goals divided by player's shots times 100. Save percentage is an advanced hockey statistic that measures a goaltender's ability to stop shots on goal. To calculate save percentage, the following steps are typically followed. Identify the number of shots on goal that the goaltender has faced during the season. Identify the number of goals that the goaltender has allowed during the season. Calculate the goaltender's save percentage. Save percentage is calculated as number of shots on goal minus number of goals allowed divided by the number of shots on goal. Corsi for percentage, also known as CF percentage, is an advanced hockey statistic that measures the percentage of total shot attempts that a team has made while a specific player is on the ice. To calculate Corsi for percentage, the following steps are typically followed. Identify the number of shot attempts, shots on goal, plus missed shots, plus block shots that a team has taken while a specific player is on the ice. Identify the total number of shot attempts, shots on goal, plus missed shots, plus block shots for both teams while the player is on the ice. Calculate the Corsi for percentage. Corsi for percentage is calculated as players' shot attempts for divided by total shot attempts for both teams times 100. Fenwick for percentage, also known as FF percentage, is an advanced hockey statistic that measures the percentage of unblocked shot attempts that a team has taken while a specific player is on the ice. To calculate Fenwick for percentage, the following steps are typically followed. Identify the number of unblocked shot attempts, shots on goal, plus missed shots that a team has taken while a specific player is on the ice. Identify the total number of unblocked shot attempts, shots on goal, plus missed shots for both teams while the player is on the ice. Calculate the Fenwick for percentage. Fenwick for percentage is calculated as players' unblocked shot attempts for divided by total unblocked shot attempts for both teams times 100. We've covered a lot of statistical ground in this lecture. In the next lecture, we'll take a subset of statistics we covered in this lecture and walk through how you can access the data using both the manual download option and the option to program against an API using Python.